we're here to review this game. Of course, it's the last kick of the season. Phil, we are playing the Wolves in
Last kick
the
of the year, not last kick of the season. Last kick of the year.
last kick of the year. Sorry, Mr. Standish. So, of course, Christmas is over. We got that done and dusted, and now we are going to Molineux. So, guys, are you ready? Should we get into the game? What do you say, Phil?
Yeah,
Let's
let's
do it,
go.
right?
Let's kick off.
Good morning, good afternoon, bada bing, bada bing, bush, bush, bush. It's Monday.
I think we will slap you 3-1.
Feel like, are you feeling more confident?
Slightly more confident. No offense, Carl. But, yeah, to beat these guys.
It's an hour because we were proving themselves.
Premier goal at Old Trafford. Jaden's the right. What a clearance. He's had a check. Goal.
Look at my little friend.
Yeah, are you good? Are you good? Welcome to the show. How are you going, boys?
All good, man. All good.
All good, all good. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. And in honors of Pele, we are reviewing the game tomorrow. As Phil said, is the last kick of the year.
We're in for a game here. Let's go. And then we just took it by the scruff of the neck and went on. And once that first goal was in, I think that was it then. I mean, I was watching it and I did say at the time that I did admire Forest for the fact that even though they were bottom of the league and they were getting battered, they just didn't seem to stop. They did seem to keep coming at us. I just felt that they were constantly trying. Some teams might have just gone, oh, it's game over, lads. Let's just take it easy. We've got the next game coming up next week, And they didn't. They just seemed to keep fighting, which was good. I think it kept pushing us, and it pushed us for that third goal. We felt that 2 wasn't enough. We've seen too many times in the past where United's got a goal, maybe 2, even going back to Mourinho sort of thing. You get that goal and then you sort of park the bus and try and play safe and keep the win. But we're not doing that. We're now just keep going for that next goal, keep going, and I think that's really important in this league because
100%.
one goal at any minute can just change a game. 2 minutes to go and Wolves, if we're 2-0 up against Wolves and in the 88th minute we concede, suddenly it's us who panics and then all United fans are favouring the draw because we've seen it too many times in the past. But going into Molineux, I think that we've got the right attitude, I think we've got the right mindset, I think we've got the momentum at the moment, and I'm really looking forward to the game. Not Wolves can be a bit of a bogey team, and they as they have been in the past, but I think this season I think we're ready.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the last fives against against them, I mean, we have we're all right. I mean, it's been quite even in a certain sense, even Steven, but our current form is quite all right. We have 4 wins, 1 loss, by my understanding as well, by the stats. But of course, it's not the same. Wolves that we saw under what's his face? It's now Julian Lopetegui, right? And with a brick wall of a goalkeeper, which is Sa, of course. The danger man for me is the Portuguese international midfield, which is, as we know, Neves, and I'm surprised Neves is still there after 5 years. And Moutinho. But last but not least, the slippery baby-oiled A-Train Adama Traore is probably sponsored by, Johnson & Johnson's baby oil formula. I'm not going to say that anymore, but Omondi, what do you reckon about that? I mean, how are you confident? Are you worried? I'm a little bit worried that Odama will come in and do a slippery slope, like we try to hug him and he's gonna somebody's gonna squeeze him, he's gonna fly up all the way to Sainsbury's car park. What do you reckon, mate?
Listen, that guy, I mean, look, he's been at Middlesbrough, he's been at Wolves, and this is a guy who's come through Barcelona Academy and he was killing it back then. He's just, there's something not right with him that we can't see, probably a mental issue or a lack of professionalism, because he should have been blowing up a lot more than he is. He was even on loan at Barca and done really well. I remember watching one game against Atletico Madrid in his first game back there, and he ripped it up, but it's just something, they didn't sign him. The same with Wolves. No one's coming in every window to go for this guy. Finished product is not there. Granted, he must be taking roids, and there must be an issue about drug testing or something. I don't know. Mr. Olympia was last week, and he could have qualified for the last 10 in that because he's so tonk. And this is a guy who claims he doesn't do weightlifting, But he doesn't like him. Look, the way we look at it, I don't like, when we do preview shows him to go, I don't like saying, oh, yeah, the last 10 games, we've got this record against him. Everything changed. It changed in June the 1st when we got the new manager in. Now it's a different kettle of fish we're dealing with now. Anyone coming up against us, I'm looking at it more positively now because like I said, I go into detail. Where's our threat? Before, under Ole, we couldn't break teams down. People with low blocks, you saw some of the performances against teams in relegation zone who were sitting back deep. We had no pattern of play to break teams down. Now we got more possession. We've got Eriksen in the midfield who makes things tick. He's more vital than we actually people appreciate, And we can keep retain the ball in the opposition's half. So we can break teams down with little, like I was saying earlier, about little rotations, drawing people out of position. So the striker we want, you mentioned about Felix earlier, the striker that we want is a central guy who can come deep, pick up the ball, drag a defender with him. Someone could occupy the space in behind, and that's how you make those goals. A bit like Ronaldo against Brentford earlier, maybe last season was. He made a run deep because he was getting marked by these big guys, doesn't like the ball into his feet, that sort of thing. Peeled off the guy, Elanga attacked the space in behind, we popped the ball over there. We're seeing patterns of play. We're getting the ball from the half spaces now, dinking in crosses, which Phil was asking for. We want someone in the box to finish their dinner, and we can spoon feed these guys. But once we get more and more drilled kind of plays going, so I'm not worried. When we played Nottingham Forest the other day, Phil was saying just now that they were played really well. They were trying really hard. You can try really hard, but the only way they were going to score was from a set piece in open play. It shows how far we've come, bro. Because last year we were leaking goals, teams were counter-attacking us, and one team that counter-attacked us really well was Wolves last year. They got the ball with the midfield, dominated, because we weren't doing that. This is before Ten Hag. Dominated, and wave after wave of attack was coming against Harry Maguire and his defensive unit, and we couldn't handle it because the midfield was ahead of the play and we weren't in position. But this time around, we got a rest defence, which means 5 at the back, sitting there, the 2 centre-backs, 2 inverted full-backs, and a midfielder. That's the rest defence. That's the insurance. And then the other 5 will play in the opposition half. If the ball does break down and they want to try and counter-press us, yam it. We just yam them up and recycle the ball. That's what we're doing really well. So it's really good. You've seen a lot of progression under Ten Hag. That's why I'm more confident. A lot of these teams were like Wolves, Nottingham Forest. They can score, but it might be a set piece. But I can't see them scoring in open play against us where they break us down and really do things. That's what's going to come when we play teams like Arsenal, Man City and Liverpool. That's going to be more of the threat.
Right.
When we come against those teams, we've already shown we've got a formula to sort of soak up play with our rest defence to deal with them too. Look at the Arsenal game. That was fantastic. Heard someone earlier talking about through balls and decisive little plays like that, playing between the lines. We've got Eriksen who does that. Look at our 3 goals against Arsenal. Completely opened them up. Their defence was like the parting of the sea with Moses. They completely, because they tried to outplay us. They tried to outnumber us in certain positions in midfield, bringing their left back into midfield. And suddenly we were able to counter press them. 1-2 passes in behind, and Rashford and these guys were scoring. So it's really promising right now. That's why I have no fear about these teams like Wolves and all that kind of thing, regardless of reputations or what happened in the past.
So chest up, right? Chest out and no fear. That's it. Let's go for the lineup, right? Spirit.
So I can't see the screen that you're looking at, unfortunately. So I'm just trying to bring my lineup back to my phone. I'm sorry, which I sent through to you. But yeah, so for whatever, so obviously I've got the usual De Gea in nets. I've gone with Shaw, Martinez, Varane, and Wan-Bissaka at the back. I think Martinez being back in training for about a week now, something like that. I think he's pretty much likely to get a position back. I think I'd like to see Maguire get his chance again, because I saw what he did for England in the World Cup, and you just think he's got it in him, but I'm not sure who ahead of, because when you look at how Varane played the other night, you just think you're not going to take him out, you're not going to take Martinez out. Shaw's playing his best form again at left back, and obviously Dalot / Wan-Bissaka at the moment. As I said earlier in the show, I think that Wan-Bissaka will play because Dalot's just coming back from his, I think today, from his first day of injury. Obviously Casemiro and Eriksen in midfield. I think that's a no-brainer at this moment, the way they're both playing and the way that we've spoke about the way that they can control the game, speed it up, drag the team up emotionally and physically as well. Rashford's on fire at the moment, so he's going to, for me, start on the left. Fernandes in the middle and Martial up front. I've gone with Anthony on the right wing. I know he's not hit form yet, but he's only going to find form by playing. And he started off great, 3 goals in his first 3 games. He was loving it, loving life. Then he did his spin, and then we didn't see him for a little while. Spun off somewhere, I think. I think Ten Hag said enough of that. Funny thing goes, if he'd have spun and that goal that would have led to a goal, it'd have been like, wow, fantastic. But it didn't. So yeah, I think Ten Hag just dragged him back a little bit and said, okay, let's see what you can do on the pitch that will actually get us goals. And you know, he's still getting shots off the other day, cutting inside, putting it on his left foot, taking that shot across goal. And his chances will come. He'll get his chances. He's just got to keep playing. He's seeing what Rashford's doing, coming in from the wings, getting a bit more into the middle of the game, and just seeing what he can to influence the game from the middle. So yeah, I've gone with the same lineup, as I say, apart from the slight changes in the back four.
Omondi, what are you saying about that? You reckon?
Yeah, I've got to be kind of with him on this. The only thing is, I don't think Martinez is back. I would rather play Maguire. Because Maguire, there's a few players had sickness. I think maybe flu symptoms or something like that. And Maguire was on the bench the other day. He seemed to recover the quickest out of the other two. Obviously, I don't know what the situation Lindelof as well. Where does he sit in this pecking order? But I would go Luke Shaw. Yeah, I think we start at the start of the season. Luke Shaw, there was a lot of criticism about him, but he's proved again that he's up there. He's playing really well. I know Paddy won't agree with me, but I think he's over. He's clear of Malacia at the moment. The issue for me would be right back Wan-Bissaka, and we talk about Anthony in his form. How do you get the best out of Anthony? And I think the best way to get, because Anthony's not a guy who's going to burst you for pace. He's not super rapid. You know what he does? He likes to square people up and pop it off, play little triangles. He's more like an advanced playmaker, wide advanced playmaker, rather than an out-and-out winger that we traditionally like. Can Chelsea's gigs. He's not going to burst a man like that. So the way to get the best out of Anthony is having a good fullback, someone who's going to overlap, and read him and complement him in that respect. And I don't think Wan-Bissaka's on the page as yet. He gets in good positions, but then when he gets there, it's like, let me just do the simple thing and just get out of here because I don't want to give the ball away.
It.
I mean, he hasn't developed in that respect, and I don't see him developing, even though he used to be a winger in that respect. So I think we're crying for him to come back to help us out, because you can get little triangles. I want Bruno to shuffle over. Everything seems to be on the left. Shuffle over, link up play. When Andy's got the ball, Bruno should come over to him and use him. There's so many situations that I highlighted the other day against Forest where Andy's got the ball. He's got an underlapping run from Wan-Bissaka, but he's just a decoy because they know they don't respect him. They're not going to give him the ball, so just make the run anyway and just take a defender with you. And you got Bruno who's too far off him. You got to be close. So it takes time, but you need to be closer to Anthony to make these 1-2s, little triangles like that. And the one thing that gets us is called third man run, where this is where Wan-Bissaka should come in and be on the page with these guys. Anthony gets the ball, pops it into Bruno, goes off, plays it into Wan-Bissaka, and the third man run is Anthony getting into those areas where one-on-one with anybody, it's showtime. You know that already with Anthony.
Showtime.
We need to get him in the areas higher up in the pitch, in the half spaces, in the area. That's where he can do his sugar. But when what's happening now, they're squeezing him up, the fullback squeezing him up, making him play that way. He's getting the ball and he's not even shaping up properly, and he has to play it. So we're not seeing enough excitement from him. And this is the same with Sancho. People say, Sancho's not good enough. Sancho's not doing enough. IQ guys, as Man United fans, we need to have better IQ and understand how we get the best out of these players. You know, the same applies Sancho and Anthony. How do we get the best out of them? And if once they do, with the decision making, there you go, big up, love by boy. Big up and come back. Hope he comes back soon. Come back, Sancho. But to get the best out of these players, it's about incorporating the side, their team players, and getting 1-2s, third man runs, that kind of thing, to exploit defenders and get them in one-on-one situations in the right areas. And that's how we see the best out of Anthony and Sancho.
That's it. I love that rant. That was really good. Bryant, Paddy, anything to add on to that one? Are you agreeing with the lineup? All good for you?
I'm just going to come on to what the lads have just said. I'm quite the opposite. I'm probably going to be the devil. I don't know. I will say about Maguire. I don't want him anywhere near that defence at all. If he comes on, I'll come onto the field and I'll drag him off myself. But bless him, that's nothing personal. I just don't think he fits in. But if I love a strong defence. And Monday knows for a long time now, I've wanted a strong defence. Quite old-fashioned. I've seen this team since '76. I'd love to see Varane there, Martinez, and Martinez not coming in. We've got a squad. Unfortunately, these players have to come in and fit and come in there and do a job. That's what you want. Luke Shaw, not for me. Dalot, and I know, and again, it'll shock everybody. Dalot, no go. I know he's playing the form of his life. If he comes in, no, not for me. I want better quality in that position. Coming into Wan-Bissaka, I watched him the other day. He worries me completely. But yeah, I mean, if these players are going to come into these positions, great. But I want a strong defense. I want a strong defense. But I'm sorry, some of these other players, and Bryant picks on about quality in this squad. There's no deep quality in this squad, Bryant. There isn't, mate. There just isn't. And that's the concern I've got. There's no deep quality in the squad, mate. No way. Sorry.
A little bit of a
I
sadness.
agree. You look what's coming, mate.
I want Mick. I want better. And it will come.
Okay.
And Jadon Sancho as well.
You get the applause, man.
1 point on Sancho. At this club, I've seen so many players who've come to this club and it's been too big for them.
Okay. Bryant, somebody's at the door. You have delivery. Final say.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Manchester United have good players in their team, so yeah. I think maybe there's a difference between like there's no deep quality, or in my opinion, there's no deep quality. Right? Like in Patty's opinion, there's no deep quality, but to somebody else, there might be some players there, and that's fine. We can have those conversations, right? But either way, and I'm more optimistic. Any player that pulls on the Manchester United shirt, I want to see them succeed in whatever realm that looks like. And whatever, I don't care if you only come on in the 70th minute every game for the remainder of your career. I want you to play those 20 minutes with everything you got and be an asset to the team, because if you do that, the club will succeed. And so, like, for me, I don't need a player to have starting 11 every game quality to be in the team. And historically, not every player that has played under Manchester United, even in their brightest moments, have had that ability. So I feel like because things have gotten because Man United have fallen so much and have spent so recklessly, that we have built this belief that every player needs to be absolutely world class in every position. And while that would be great, I don't think that's necessary to be a successful football club. However, I do think that we have some dynamite players in that team. I mean, Varane, Casemiro, Eriksen, Rashford, all of them are absolutely undroppable. Like they're all
magical.
They're all undroppable.
They're magical.
Yeah, they're all undroppable. And so, getting the right players around them. Dalot has played in a way that has put him into the team. And so I respect all of that. So for me, I think the lineup's great. I think the more fluid that front four can be, the better. The interchanging of positions, we saw it against Forest. We've seen it in other matches as well. Kind of the interchanging of positions, just like Omondi saying, Martial dropping deeper, pulling defenders with him, getting on the ball with how good he is with the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
Rashford putting the ball in the back of the net, Anthony finding a bit more form, getting isolated and having the confidence to go at players. And then Bruno just continuing to get things ticking along, knowing that, at any moment he could, he has words to say for several players in that front line, because the amount of chances he's created that they have not scored, Anthony in particular against Forest in the most recent match, he's like 8 yards out on his favorite foot and he can't finish it, And so there's like, I think the players in a really good form right now, at the right point in the season, going into some really tough fixtures. So
right.
If we can get Martinez back, if we can get Dalot back, I think that makes the team even stronger. And then at left back, it's a really good competition. Luke Shaw and Malacia are such good competition for one another. I feel like either one of them in the team at the moment, you can't go wrong. So there's a lot to look forward to in the team right now.
Cool.
So just to add to that as well, you talk about Manasseh and Luke Shaw. Yeah, they are really playing well. But the thing is, they find themselves in positions as inverted fullbacks in the midfield. So a lot of time you're finding them when we play a high line and we're camping a team in their half. You find them picking up the ball just outside the box in the half space because they're inverted like that. And they're there to pick up the ball and pinch people and turn it over again. But also, they need to have the quality as well. And that's why Wan-Bissaka is not really responsible in that respect to play in those sort of positions. Given the ball, he's playing hot potato kind of thing, you know? He wants to give it away as fast as possible, and he hasn't got the composure like that. So that's why Dallo, I feel, is like crucial because he has got that ability. He can underlap, overlap. He can hold a position. He really worked the position all season long. He's been knowing how to sort of have that insurance and when to go, when not to go kind of thing. It's really been beneficial to us. So the next person we get in has to have the ability to play in that half space, as these fullbacks are doing lately under the system, and pick up the ball and have the composure to keep turning it over.
Well, listen, thank you so much. There's been some amazing comments. I agree with the lineup, but as usual, we never get it right, Phil, do we? It's always something, right? So it's just like whatever Ten Hag picks, he knows best. Let's get into the score prediction, guys. So, guys, having to said everything what we've seen today, what's your score prediction? Phil, what do you reckon? Confidently.
Yeah, confident again. I mean, I said 3-0 the other day. I was right. It's not often we get it right, as you say, but I did. I got it right.
I said 3-0 too, yeah.
And I think when you look back through these podcasts, we've regularly said 3-0 just because we seems to be the go-to score because we think we're going to score many. But I think the form that we're on at the moment, I don't think Wolves are leaking goals, so I don't think it'll be a goal fest. I think possibly 2-0. I don't think we'll concede. I think 2-0 unless we concede a late goal late on. Or early on, which kickstarts the game, I'm not sure. But 2-1, I think, maybe.
Yeah. Do you stand on 2-1 or 2-0? Standish.
I'll go with 2-0.
2-0. Mr. Silky. Paddy, do you agree on that?
I'd say 3-0. I think we'll as Phil previously said, but it could be 3-0. I'll stick with 3-0 because they've been playing really well, and I think Rashford might be the difference again. So a bit optimistic, but a bit overly optimistic. But I think it might be okay.
Away. Bryant?
Yeah, I'm gonna say 2-0 as well. Wolves have scored the lowest amount of goals in the Premier League so far this season. They're not really a goal threat. And they've conceded a decent amount. I think in the 20s, 20, 25, 20, 26, something like that. So yeah, they're not leaking goals, but I think it's a steady drip for them. So I'm not particularly worried about them scoring against United. It's just whether or not when United create chances, can they take them? So I think it'd be another frustrating game where we'll walk away saying it could have been 5 or 6, but we'll have to settle for 3. And the goal difference is positive right now. So hey, you just got to add more goals to it. We've been fighting that battle all season. The goal difference is finally positive. So got to keep adding to it, keep those clean sheets.
Hey, big up. Just going over the comments. Solo has been in the house saying big up. We've been missing all the comments before we finish off. No more Maguire, please, from ECU Samuel. He's also saying Van Beek was quite sharp when he came on for the last match. We absolutely agree, guys, do we? Yeah. And he goes again, 1-2 to Manchester United. I was kind of going on that too. 1-2 to Manchester United. Who do I left? Omondi. Do you reckon they're going to grease up Traore and it's going to slip one in like 2-1? Or do you reckon it's going to be a clean sheet, mate? Tell me.
Well, I just want to big up Uchi in the comments. Big up Uchi Samuel. He's saying 2-1 to Manchester United. I'm just looking at his 3 comments, and I'm down with 2. Well, I'm down with 1 of them and not down with 2 of them. So the same scoreline for me with your comments there, Uchi. Maguire saying no more, please. I disagree. We need to get off his back and support the guy as we were saying, when they're playing for Man United, get behind them. He is an international defender. He's a top-class defender. I will always endorse him. He does the dirty work, puts his head in where it hurts. Most clearances, most interceptions last season. And this season, he's doing really well once he gets his game and his confidence back. So get behind the guy. And also, Van der Beek, I think he looks lost out there. I disagree with you there. So for me, if we're battling, I agree with your comment, winning against 2-1 against Wolves. And I'm going to say 1-0, Uche. I think it's going to be a 1-0 win. 1-0 is a good result, in my opinion, based on we control the game. We don't get nervous when they're coming. If we're 1-0 up, we don't get nervous. And then, oh, God, we need another goal. No, we got to go out there, control the game, and then the manager comes in and then brings the subs on at the right time to see the game out, that kind of thing. So it's going to be very difficult to break them down, I believe, as Bryant was saying. But once we do, we just take our chance, bam, and then control the game. Even if the goal comes after 10 minutes. It'll be a beautiful thing and great experience if we control the game for 80 minutes and without them being a real threat only from set pieces, I imagine. So 1-0, let's see the game out. And big up Uchi, big up Solo, and big up to Pat, and big everyone tuning in right now. Love you guys.
Big up for everyone. And listen, it's Happy New Year coming up. It will be the last kick of the... Guys, thank you for coming on board. I've left all the links and description in the description where they can find you. But of course, let's do it around the corners. Bryant, where can they find the people to follow you on Twitter and social, etc.?
Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter at BK Stinson08. I'm there often talking mostly about Man United. So come and hang out.
Yeah. And as I said, if you go look in the description, I left all your guys' details in there, and the loanies. I had a loan deal today from the Man United Agenda. Monday, of course, you can see you on the channel. You see me there appearing sometimes too, like we have a crack as well. Paddy, thanks for being debutant as well. It's the first time we spoke.
Thank you very much for letting me on.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Fantastic, guys. And listen, Phil, I see you more often. It's good to connect again. I know we had a little bit of a break. It's been World Cup. But listen, guys, I'm confident. My score prediction will be I went negative first because I was a little bit worried. But after speaking to you a lot, I go with 2-0 United. Yay, let's go. Listen, guys. Please like and subscribe. This is kind of the last episode stream before we enter the new year. Next year, we're going full throttle and we're looking forward to delivering more content. The more you share with this video, the more you like and subscribe. Tell other people that we are here we are building a community together with Man United Agenda and everyone else. Thank you so much for coming on board. And please, Happy New Year, guys. See you later and let's go for a win, people. Happy New Year. Signing up. Sign up. Okay. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Oi. Thank you for watching MufC Realist TV and this episode. Listen, if you really like what you're seeing, please continue watching other content that we provide because it's unique content providing by a fan for the fan, allowing you to be real red for real with real opinions because at the end of the day, we are MufC Realist TV. Even better, if you want to join our community, make us better, play for the team, hit that join button. Together, we will grow and make it better. Thank you for watching. And by the way, support the team for God's sake, because that's what we do here. Cheers.